Hi there, Simeon Goa here, SIMEONGOA.ca. I thought it'd be helpful to share this analogy of your visual design, your visual branding as being like a sign system. When I worked in a firm for a while where we created the communication systems for hospitals and universities and um, as well as larger hospitality buildings like hotels and that kind of thing. And one of the things that you realize when you are working on a massive communication system that is essentially a signage system, what every sign says at every place in, say, a hospital or a university or in a hotel, all those signs have to work together. You can't have, if you come through the front entrance of, say, the emergency room or emergency entrance of a hospital, it can't point to the next down the corridor or down the hallway, and the sign that greets you next as you walk down that hallway has to relate back to the previous one, unless it is the destination, and then in which case it still relates, and it tells you that you have arrived in some way. So it's the visual branding, visual design component of your business really needs to work as a sign system. And there's a couple of levels in which it does that. One, in terms of your marketing, you have to have elements or actual branding, or like your logo, or your typeface and that kind of stuff working in your marketing that is reflective of how you show up, how your business shows up on the top fold of your social media, that relates to your website, that relates to a landing page or to a business card or whatever. So all of these pieces have to work together, and an analogy of a sign system I think is helpful, because sometimes we think we have to reiterate or we have to reimagine certain elements in certain parts. Our marketing needs to just like completely change up or whatever, how we look, and that's going to lose people. So imagine when you're ever working on any particular part of your marketing as it relates to your visual branding, if it doesn't relate to the rest of how your business shows up, then you will lose people. And that losing people is, frustrating for them as it is as much for you. And I have experienced recently a cell phone provider that completely rebranded. And now the rebranding itself in and of itself isn't necessarily bad, although it doesn't usually leverage the existing recognition that it has. But this rebranding happened in such a way that nobody was told. I didn't get an email or a letter or anything saying, hey, by the way, your cell phone provider is changing and this is how it's going to look from now on. And it's super frustrating. And if people are already having a tough day, it can cause tons of friction, which is not something that you want to have. So the sign analogy, I think, is really useful, because at any given point in time, you want to make sure that consistency throughout wherever you show up is there, and that reliability, people can rely on that, so that it can take them to where they want to go, which is inevitably, if they've been following you for a while or just recently, they have come to know you and recognize you, your services, your business, your messaging, your content, and make the next step to engaging, or even purchasing a service or a product from you. So I hope that helped. Let me know what you think in the comments, and have a good day.